I wanted to talk a little bit about this Xbox tease about handheld hardware. There has been another thing that just came up recently. Jason Ronald's promotion to VP of Next Gen Hardware and how all of that might intermingle with that. And also take an overall look at where Xbox is, where they're going. There's been a lot of Xbox chatter lately, ever since the Satya Nadella thing. Let's dive into it and talk about how Xbox might just pull something off that could impact the entire industry. So long story short, there is this great article from The Verge breaking down CES, which is right around the corner, and how Lenovo is going to be a special guest, but guess who's going to be also presenting with Lenovo? That's right, the VP of Next Gen Hardware. Valve will be Lenovo's special guest at just announced gaming handheld event. Microsoft's VP of Next Generation Xbox exec will also attend. Here are the key points that I found in this article. Let me translate. It looks like Lenovo just tacitly confirmed it will announce its first Steam OS handheld in Las Vegas on or before January 7th, 2025. We're expecting it to be the Steam button-equipped Legion Go S that leaker Evan Blass revealed last week. The January 7th event, titled Lenovo Legion X AMD, The Future of Gaming Handhelds, will feature a special guest, Valve, SteamOS, and Steam designer, Deck co-designer Pierre-Luc Grafias. Grafias won't be the only intriguing voice of panelist on stage. Jason Ronald, Microsoft VP of Xbox gaming devices and ecosystem, will also be in attendance. He's now being introduced as Microsoft's VP of Next Generation. Now, I found all of that quite interesting. I find it a little bit curious that they're going to be partnering with Lenovo Legion. Let's take a look at the press release that The Verge has. Join us for a cocktail reception hosted by Lenovo Legion and AMD gaming leaders with special guests Valve and other gaming industry giants. We'll be sharing our thoughts on what lies ahead in the gaming handheld space and showcasing our latest Lenovo Legion Go innovations advanced by AMD. Come to hear how Lenovo Legion and AMD Ryzen are making gaming more immersive and for all, and stay to experience the future of handheld gaming firsthand. Now that's pretty interesting given the current state of Microsoft and where everything is at with their hardware and just overall sales. It's been a very interesting time, especially for Microsoft and Xbox. And just real quick, if you want to dive into console spending, video game content spending dropped 9% versus a year ago to $4.5 billion. Growth in mobile and non-mobile subscription content spending was offset by dips across other areas of content. Console content spending was the biggest contributor to the decline, falling 29% versus the year YA, whatever that means. Point being that sales are just down right now for everybody, not just Xbox, but it's just not looking great for anybody in particular. Here we go. Here's the quote I was actually looking for. November video game hardware spending was flat when compared to a year ago at $927 million. 15% spending growth on PlayStation 5 hardware was offset by a 29% year-on-year drop in Xbox Series spending and 3% decline in Switch. And then a lot of the top selling titles, obviously Call of Duty was huge for Microsoft, but this does beg the question, are we sort of reaching a bit of a saturation point? And there's a few thoughts on that. First of all, Microsoft has confirmed that they're not going to abandon hardware. Even Satya Nadella, in that very piece, he said he's not going to be abandoning hardware. So even with these massive dips, Microsoft is still making a lot of money there. Speaking of money, it'd be money if you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so my content goes live, and also hit that like button if you're already subscribed. The quote reads, more importantly, I think long-term as a company, we can bring the best of AI innovation, cloud innovation, console innovation, PC innovation to build the best games that can be enjoyed by gamers everywhere. That was Satya Nadella, his comments on console hardware. That was at the same one where he talked about console exclusives and how basically console exclusives may not be going anywhere. Now, Windows Central also had a great report where they sort of broke down where Xbox is currently and where they could be going in the near future. So they said Microsoft states that it's seeing record users on Xbox consoles. And the bulk of Xbox's income today comes from Xbox console, whether it's game sales, microtransactions, or services like Xbox Game Pass. The dilemma revolves around growth and staying ahead of rising costs. Growth is a concern for all of these companies. Like console hardware hasn't really grown since the PS2 or the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch finally just broke the PS2's record, which took years because at the time, having a built-in DVD player, having a console, having this sort of all-in-one box was really compelling. Today, it's harder to sell something like that. And the question is, what if Microsoft ends up making something that speaks to a larger audience? So we know that hardware is down. We know that they're not going to stop investing in hardware. Even when he's talking about console exclusives, Microsoft is still committed to making hardware. The question is, how is the rest of the industry shifting? Because PlayStation is also going to be releasing games on PC sooner. We have the new Nintendo Switch. I don't know what that's going to look like, but Nintendo's kind of going to keep doing whatever they've been doing. And then Xbox is going to be releasing some sort of new console, and we know they're working on a handheld that could see the light of day. Jez Corden has a great article about the risky strategy that they're developing. He writes, what if all Xbox games had Xbox Play Anywhere, like on the box, where you could play wherever you want? What if all Xbox games were cloud capable on any device at any time? What if I could benefit from Xbox ecosystem features even when I was running an Xbox game from PlayStation, SteamOS, or Nintendo Switch 2? What if they pull it off? This is big closer. And that's the real question. This is a big change for a lot of people who have supported the Xbox ecosystem. I've been talking about how the Xbox ecosystem has been the play for maybe like the last 5 years. Basically, ever since Game Pass came, the big pitch when they bought Bethesda was, we're about making exclusives games where Xbox Game Pass exists, not where Xbox consoles exist, where Xbox Game Pass exists. And it seems like that strategy has obviously shifted, but the heart of the matter is still there. They are releasing Xbox games on competing hardware, but you still sign into the Xbox ecosystem to access those games. So you're paying full price. They get another user within their ecosystem. And while it's not Xbox Game Pass, I do think that is the long-term play. They don't like console exclusives. Console exclusives might go away, and that is likely going to negatively impact their hardware sales. Maybe they don't sell as many, but the people who are spending in their ecosystems are spending more than they ever have before, and they are more engaged than ever before. So even with a huge decline in console sales versus the last generation, a huge decline versus PlayStation, obviously, or even Nintendo, Xbox is still doing great when you compare it to their past numbers. So I have to wonder how that impacts their strategy going forward. And I think what Jez Corden is trying to say is it's risky. He understands why fans are concerned. I get why fans can be concerned about their ecosystem changing and them losing something in that, right? But I think it's going to be okay. I think Microsoft is changing the game, and I think PlayStation's also going to change the game, because the fact of the matter remains, we are at a point where these companies are paying more than ever before to make the games that we all love. A lot of them aren't selling, and they need to figure out strategies to recoup that amount of money. I think part of it's going to be reducing spending on how the games are created. I think part of it's going to be reducing that window to other platforms, the way PlayStation has, the way Xbox has, at least for PlayStation and Xbox. Nintendo was really, really smart. And the reason they can live in their own ecosystem is they know about how much money they're going to make from every single Pokemon game that they sell. They have a large swath of exclusive IP that nobody else owns, that nobody else can really replicate, at least for now. And the question is, will they ever need to go multi-platform? The answer is no, because they figured out the formula years ago. I don't think PlayStation has, and I don't think Xbox has. PlayStation wants these premier experiences that cost $300 million to make, but they're making the same amount of money from something like Miles Morales. Xbox is about Xbox Play anywhere you want. You can play in VR. You can play on your TV. You can play on your PlayStation if you want to pay the $70 for the game. And if you're an Xbox fan, you get a lower barrier to entry for all of your games. You just subscribe to Game Pass and you get all the Xbox games. It's great. A lot of fans feel weird about it, but I think things are going to be okay. I think things will stabilize. Obviously, in the hardware space, Xbox has already admitted defeat. They admitted defeat years ago. So now what does the next generation look like? Let me know what you would like that to look like. I'd be very curious to hear from the commenters on this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Just a little bit of thought about where Xbox is, where it seems like they're going, what people are thinking, and hopefully give you a little bit of hope about the Xbox ecosystem and their plans into the future. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if you like my content. I do greatly appreciate you watching. Thank you so much to the members. I greatly appreciate you supporting this channel. I have obviously been sick. You can probably still tell I'm fighting it off. I literally couldn't talk for a few days, but thank you so much to the members for supporting this channel, allowing me to make content like this video right here. If you want to see the last video I did, you can check it out right over there. It's about console stuff. It's about Satya Nadella's comments. You're going to want to check it out. Bye for now, everybody.